Hello everyone, I'm Danica from the Saskatoon Public Library, and I'm so pleased you're here to join me for story time today. I'm really honored to be here on Treaty 6 territory. It's a place where people have gathered to listen and tell stories for tens of thousands of years. So we're going to start our day, like we always do, with our hello song. And our hello song has some American Sign Language. And it goes like this: hello, friends. And friends are like two little people giving a hug. It's time, where we'd have a watch, if we wore a watch, to say hello. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. It's time to say hello. So today, I thought that we would have stories about feelings, because I'm feeling all kinds of things all the time. Sometimes I'm really happy, like when I get to go play outside or ride my bike. Sometimes I'm sad when I miss some of my friends that I don't get to see. Sometimes I'm scared because I don't know what's going to happen next. So today we've got some books about some different feelings, and we'll probably sing a song. And I'm just really happy right now because you are here watching me today. So I'm going to start with Crabby Pants by Julie Gassman, illustrated by Richard Watson, and this was published by Picture Window Books. Crabby Pants. This is Roger. He gets crabby a lot. There was the morning his older brother ate the last frozen waffle. Roger was stuck eating cereal. So Roger got crabby. Then there was the day Roger's class was supposed to go to the zoo. "We cannot go to the zoo in a thunderstorm," his teacher said. So Roger got crabby. And what about the day he fell asleep for his favorite TV? He fell asleep waiting for his favorite TV show to come on. His mom let him sleep through the whole thing. There was only one thing to do: get crabby. "You shouldn't be such a crabby pants," his older brother said. That made Roger even crabbier. Not crabby. I am not crabby. I am not crabby. Not I am not crabby. Before he knew it, Roger was sitting in the naughty chair. I am not crabby. I am not crabby. Roger thought about what his brother had said. Something clicked. Crabby pants. Roger thought of all the times he was crabby. What did they all have in common? His pants. It was clear now, and Roger knew just what he had to do. The next morning, Roger showed his mom and dad how he had solved his crabby problem. "After all," said Roger, "there's no such thing as crabby shorts." Roger's mom and dad were not happy, and soon Roger was crabby again. Maybe it wasn't my pants that were the problem, he thought. That night, Roger decided to take care of the crabby pants problem once and for all. The next morning, Roger's family discovered what he had done. "Isn't this great? Now no one will ever get Crabby again," said Roger. But he was wrong. Ooh, that wasn't the solution to his crabbiness. Let's see. Maybe we'll have another story that has a better solution. Okay, so this one is called The Circle of Caring and Sharing. And this was written by Teresa Corky Larson Johansson, illustrated by Jessica von Innenbrand, and this was published by, let me just check, I think I know, this was published by Medicine Wheel Education. The Circle of Caring and Sharing. There once were two foxes who were best friends, and they lived on the plains where the sky never ends. One day, these two foxes had a terrible fight and were no longer friends when they went home that night. The two foxes refused to talk the next day, which made their friends sad and not want to play. An older buffalo knew just what to do. She went to Kukum, the owl, who said, "Hoo, hoo, hoo. We should hold a sharing circle today so that we can all hear what our friends have to say." So they gathered the animals from all around to come sit in a circle on the ground. This circle is sacred. This circle's for sharing and connects the community in a way that is caring. We're gathered today because of a fight to bring all of our feelings out into the light. The animals took turns passing the stick to speak. Some gave a loud roar and others a squeak. The fox listened to each other explain why their feelings were hurt and causing them pain. Now that the foxes understood what went wrong, they could go back to getting along. The animals thanked Kukum for bringing them together. They knew they would be friends forever and ever. That was a good one. That had a lot of feelings. That had feelings that were sad feelings and angry feelings. And then there was a really nice love feeling at the end. I love that story. And there's a longer version too. This one's really nice for story time because it's nice and short. All right. Well, I thought because we were talking about feelings today that we would play a little game where we made faces. And so I made up some little faces. Now, what does that look like? Mad. So can you make a mad face with me and maybe make a mad sound? Sometimes when we're mad, somebody says, "You must be seeing red." So let's make that mad face again. All right, good one. Okay, this guy here, he looks like he has a trick up his sleeve. Maybe he's going to do something naughty. So this is feeling bad. And I also put on the other way another bad feeling. That one looks like that person has a bit of a stomach ache or something. So that's also feeling bad. And sometimes when we're feeling bad, when we're feeling a little sick, somebody might say, "Ooh, you look a little green." Oh, look at that. Can you make a big happy face? Glad. Yeah, that's good. Yay. Maybe you want to say yay. Oh, sad. I hope you're not feeling too sad today. But if you are, that's okay because all of our feelings are good feelings. So if you're sad, sometimes people say, "Are you feeling a little blue?" And then I have one more. Rad! Are you feeling rad? Got your cool shades? Maybe you're going to go have some fun with your brothers and sisters or one of your parents? Rad! Now, I don't know if you noticed something about all of these emojis. Oops, this one got turned around. But let's look at them again. We have rad, mad, glad, bad, sad. They rhyme. Maybe today you can make a poem up about your feelings. One day I was feeling sad, really, really bad. Then something great happened and I was feeling glad. But a few minutes later, my brother made me mad. But then we went to play and everything was rad. Sad, bad, glad, mad, rad. So you can make all kinds of faces. And if you want to, you could even try to make some little emojis for yourself. And then if someone says, "Oh, how are you doing today?" you could just say, "Rad." Or if you're not feeling so good, you could say, "Sad." Sometimes we don't want to talk too much about our feelings, but it is okay to do it. It's really healthy to acknowledge, to know that all of our feelings count. All right, so I'm going to read another story. And this one is called Big Boys Cry by Jonathan Howley. And this was published by Random House Kids. It was Levi's first day at a new school, and Levi was scared. Papa didn't know what to do, so he told Levi, "Big boys don't cry." So Levi didn't. On his way, Levi saw a fisherman with tears in his eyes, setting off on a long trip. "Big boys don't cry," said Levi. Next, Levi saw a harpist, lost in his music and memories, and some passionate poets practicing their prose. Looks like he's got a lot of feeling in that poem. "Big boys don't cry," whispered Levi. Levi saw grandparents, new parents, rich men, and not so rich men. He saw proud men, army men, young men, old men, biker men, brawny men, and even baker men crying. In fact, big boys were crying everywhere. Soon enough, Levi arrived at school. In the end, Levi's first day wasn't so scary, and before he knew it, it was time to go home. On his way back, he thought about all he'd seen. When Levi got home, Papa had tears in his eyes. "Why are you crying?" asked Levi. "It was your first day at a new school," said Papa, "and I was scared." "Papa, big boys do cry," said Levi. "And that's okay," said Papa. That's okay. And on the back it says, "It's okay to cry, no matter how big you are." All right, so I think it's time for a song. You probably know this one. It's "If You're Happy and You Know It." If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're sad and you know it, dry your eyes. Boo-hoo! If you're sad and you know it, dry your eyes. Boo-hoo! If you're sad and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're sad and you know it, cry boo-hoo. Boo-hoo! If you're mad and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're mad and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're mad and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're mad and you know it, stomp your feet. But if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. All right, I have a couple more books for us today. I have a book called The Ring Bearer by Floyd Cooper, and this was published by Philomel Books. The Ring Bearer. Mama is having a wedding and Jackson is worried. What will it be like to call Bill Dad and share stuff with Sophie, his new little sister? Things won't be the same around here anymore. Jackson has an important job at the wedding, and he's not sure he can do it. Jacob's job is to take care of the rings. Bill walks by, pinching his hanky at the middle. He lifts it, flips it, and folds it in his top pocket to sit like a pet bird. Jackson giggles, but he's still nervous. Mama's having a wedding, and Jackson has to carry the rings down the aisle. "Why the droopy shoulders?" Bill asks as he lifts Jackson high and makes him tall. Jackson smiles on Bill's shoulders, but inside he thinks, "Mama's having a wedding, and I have to carry the rings, but I don't want to trip in front of everyone and mess it all up. Maybe Bill should carry the rings." Tall Jackson walks over to little Sophie, who is busy counting flowers. Sophie has an important job, too. She has to carry the flowers. Grandpop helps him practice, so shows him how to walk down the aisle slow and steady. "That way you won't trip," Grandpop says, like he knows just what's in Jackson's heart. But Jackson is worried anyway. The music starts and Sophie takes off. Grandpop nudges Jackson to get him going too. Jackson walks slowly and steady, while Sophie skips ahead, ignoring Grandpop's advice. Mama's having a wedding, and Jackson has an important job to do, and no matter what Sophie does, he will not trip down the aisle. Jackson sees Sophie coming to a step, but Sophie only sees her flowers. Oh no! Jackson rushes to Sophie just as she trips on the step and catches her before she falls. Jackson looks at Grandpop. Grandpop cheers. Mama and Bill cheer too. The whole wedding cheers. They're all cheering for Jackson. Sophie smiles and grabs Jackson's hand. They walk together, slow and steady, the rest of the way. Sophie stands next to her dad. Jackson waits for his mama, who is coming down the aisle now, with Grandpa by her side, looking like the prettiest lady in the whole church. Jackson sneaks a peek at Sophie, making sure she is still okay. When Mama gets to the end of the aisle, she bends down next to Jackson. "You're a great big brother, Jack," she whispers. "Sophie is lucky to have you around." Looking at Mama and Sophie and Bill and Grandpa, Jackson is not worried anymore. He's not nervous when he reaches into his pocket for the rings. He's not nervous when he gives them to Mama and Bill. And when the preacher finally says, "They're all a family now," Jackson knows deep in his heart that he doesn't have to be nervous about important jobs. And he definitely doesn't have to be nervous about being a big brother. Mama got married, and Jackson handled his job just right. Oh, that worked out great. He was really scared, really nervous, and something scary did happen. But he did exactly the right thing. And did you see how happy they looked at the end? That was super, super happy picture. I'm just going to show it one more time. Look at that. They look fantastic. Super happy. Okay, I have one more book for us today. And this one is In My Anana's Amati by Nadia Samartuk, illustrated by Lenny Lashenko. And this was published by Inhabit Media. Do you know what an amatik is? Or an amati? It's a big parka that has a pouch on the back where a baby can be safe, or a little child. So that's a new word for some people. I went up north a few years ago. I went to Nunavut, and I saw lots of mamas carrying their babies around on their backs. And then they have a big hood that also comes up. The baby doesn't go in the hood. The baby goes in the pouch that goes on the back. And then the big hood can come over, so the baby can peek out here over the mama's shoulder, and the mama's head can be there. So if it's really cold and windy, they can still stay nice and warm. In my ananas amautik, I feel warm. The warmth of her skin feels like sunshine, keeping me safe from the cold. I love being in my ananas amautik. In my ananas amautik, it feels cozy. The way the material swaddles me feels like being wrapped up in soft clouds. I love snuggling up inside my ananas amautik. In my ananas amautik, I feel calm. Her scent reminds me of flowers in the summertime. I love breathing in the smell of my ananas amautik. In my ananas amautik, it feels soft. The fabric inside it feels like a bed of cotton grass. I love curling up inside my ananas amautik. In my ananas amautik, I feel safe. The protection of the hood around me is like my own tiny igloo. I love peeking out from inside my ananas amautik. In my ananas amautik, it feels peaceful. Her breathing feels like ocean waves gently rolling in and out. I love sleeping in my ananas amautik. In my ananas amautik, I feel happy. The sound of her laughter is like a glistening stream trickling by. I love playing in my ananas amautik. In my ananas amautik, it feels like home. It is familiar. like my Anana's warm kisses all over my cheeks. I love relaxing in my Anana's amautic. In my Nana's amautic, I feel loved. The gentleness of her movements reminds me of her hugs and her love for me. I love my Anana's amautic. And Anana, in case you didn't figure out, means mother or mama. So we don't have a really good picture, but if you look up amautic or amauti on the internet, you'll see some beautiful pictures of the great big jackets, parkas that have the big pouch with the baby in. Well, that was really wonderful with all those warm, cozy feelings. Some of my favorite feelings of feeling loved and hugged and kisses. And just having that wonderful feeling between two people that are really nice and close together. That's all the time I have for today. So we'll just finish like we always do, with our goodbye song. And it's sort of like the hello song, but we say goodbye instead. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. It's time to say goodbye. Thanks for watching.